If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great. First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no.
The city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well. Do you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
Take that as a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections?
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction.
You're about to watch wasn't just a hearing about sanctuary cities. It was a collision between two visions of America. Representative Brandon Gill came with direct questions about illegal immigration, taxpayer spending, and ethics. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson came with political talking points. Then the hearing shifted, from sanctuary city policies to luxury gifts, secret rooms, and questions Johnson wouldn't answer directly. And suddenly, this stopped feeling like politics, and started feeling like the reason millions of Americans no longer trust their leaders. Subscribe and watch closely. This goes way beyond Chicago. Let's dive in.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing on such an important topic. Mayor Johnson, I want to start with you. One of your first actions as mayor was establishing a deputy mayor for immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights. I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great. First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no.
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well. Do you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
Take that as a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections?
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction of that type of law, but again, I'm committed to investing in all residents of the people of Chicago.
I'll take that as a yes. I've got an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'll quote here briefly. Johnson proposed, among other things, that all residents, regardless of citizenship status, be able to vote for Chicago Board of Education members. Next question. Your website states, and this is your campaign website, quote, "I will not stop fighting until abortion access is completely secure for people all over the country," end quote. Yes or no, do you support taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal aliens?
I support the reproductive rights of all people, all women.
That is a yes as well. Your mayoral transition website mentioned support for creating a Chicago Board of Education non-citizen advisory board. Again, yes or no, do you support appointing non-citizens to government advisory boards?
I was invited here today to discuss welcoming cities.
Yes or no?
I was invited here to discuss welcoming cities.
This is a yes or no
If you're interested in asking me questions about the welcoming city, I'm happy to answer those questions.
No, we're going to move on. As you know, President Trump, unlike the previous administration, has taken serious action to bring foreign criminal gangs to justice, to take our border back and to restore public safety in our communities. He designated 8 transnational criminal organizations and cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. These are groups like Tren de Aragua, MS-13, Sinaloa, other of some of the most grotesque and ruthless and brutal organizations in the world. You, as mayor of a sanctuary city, have been virtually giving favors to illegal aliens. Apparently, you support an enormous amount of taxpayer resources going to them as well. But you yourself have also received a lot of gifts. And for those of you who don't know, Mayor Johnson has a secret gift room that is not given access to the public or for access to the Office of Inspector General. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about that. Do you know everyone who's given you a gift since you became mayor?
The city of Chicago has had a policy for
That's
40
a
years
yes or no question.
where there are individuals that would like to give gifts to
I'm
the city of
reclaiming my time.
Chicago,
I'm going to take that as a
and we
no.
do not accept those
When
gifts.
did you
We
become
receive
mayor?
them on
No, I'm going
behalf
to reclaim my
of
time
the city
here.
of Chicago.
You're not going to filibuster here. When did you become mayor?
I was elected mayor of the city of Chicago in April of 2023, and I was sworn in May
That's good. On
15th
June
of
12th
2023.
On June 12th, 2023, you received Hugo Boss cufflinks and a personalized Mont Blanc pin. Do you know who gave you those?
So I did not receive those personally. The city of Chicago
You received those
them.
on behalf
and
of
that's
the city of
right, on behalf of
Chicago.
the city of Chicago,
I
every
understand
mayor
the difference.
in the
Do you know
history of
who-
Chicago who has
Do you know who
provided
gave those
gifts
to the city of Chicago? Do you know who gave those to the city of Chicago?
So again, on behalf of the city of Chicago, there
It's
are
a yes
gifts
or no
that are
question.
received,
Do
but I
you?
do not
Do you-
accept. Those are not
So you
my
don't-
personal
so you
gifts.
don't know.
Those are the gifts of the city of
On March
Chicago,
18th,
and that's why you are aware
2024,
that they exist because they're
reclaim
within the
my
law.
time here, sir. On March 18th, 2024, you received a Gucci tote bag. Do you know who gave you that? Gave the city of Chicago that?
Again, I was here and I was invited.
I'll also
to
take that as
respond
no.
to the
On March
questions
19th,
around
2024,
welcoming
the
city, and I'm
city of
happy to answer
Chicago
any of those
received
questions.
A Givenchy bag, a Kate Spade purse, and Carucci shoes. Do you know who gave the city of Chicago those?
Again, I was brought.
I'll
I
take
brought
that
my
as a no.
energy
I'm
here
reclaiming my
to
time
respond
here, sir. I am
on behalf of the
reclaiming
city
my
of Chicago of
This
what a
raises
welcoming city
serious
ordinance
ethical
is.
concerns. You're providing an enormous amount of aid to illegal aliens, aiding and abetting criminals who have come into our country illegally. And you yourself are receiving an enormous amount of gifts, and you won't even tell us who they're coming
Mr.
from. That
Chairman,
raises
time is up.
serious ethical
We have
concerns.
a 5-minute rule.
Gentleman's
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record the City of Chicago Office of Inspector General advisory concerning gifts accepted on behalf of the city.
What you just watched was bigger than a clash between Representative Brandon Gill and Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. It was a head-on collision between two completely different understandings of what government is supposed to prioritize. Gill approached the hearing from a populist framework, essentially treating the nation like a household budget. A family has finite resources, a mortgage to pay, and a primary obligation to take care of its own kids first. In this view, government's first responsibility is strictly to its own taxpayers. Johnson approached it from an activist governance framework, treating the city like a humanitarian community center. If people are fleeing a crisis, you keep the doors wide open and provide services broadly, because moral obligations outweigh strict membership rules. But it forces us to ask a tough question. If a local center has a fixed budget funded entirely by neighborhood dues, should it limit programs to paying members, or open its doors to everyone in a surrounding crisis? Where do you draw the line between civic duty and global compassion? Underneath that debate is the real tension reshaping American politics. Who is government actually for? That's why Gill's repeated yes or no questions mattered so much. Think about it this way. If you ask a contractor, is the roof leak fixed, yes or no, and they launch into a 10-minute speech about weather patterns and construction philosophy, you instantly assume they're hiding something. For millions of Americans struggling with inflation, rent, and crime, a direct answer isn't a political game. It's the baseline test of honesty itself. When politicians avoid simple questions, voters no longer see it as diplomacy. They see it as concealment. Then came the second layer of the hearing, the luxury gifts. The cufflinks, the designer bags, the gift room, whether legal or not became secondary, because symbolism matters in modern politics more than procedure. And the symbolism here was devastating. Imagine a company CEO announcing strict budget cuts and freezing employee raises, then walking into the break room flashing a brand new Rolex. Even if they bought it with their own money, the optics are brutal. It leaves you with an image of a mayor defending expansive benefits for illegal immigrants, while simultaneously struggling to explain luxury gifts tied to political office. Fair or unfair, it tells ordinary citizens that political elites operate under a completely different reality than the people carrying the financial burden. That's why hearings like this resonate far beyond Chicago. Because the deeper issue is institutional trust. How should a city balance humanitarian aid for new arrivals without neglecting the vulnerable, long-term residents who have been struggling there for decades? Right now, Americans feel their government can explain everything, except why their own quality of life keeps declining while political leaders lecture them about what they should tolerate, fund, or ignore. And once a population begins feeling politically secondary inside its own country, trust erodes fast. That's the deeper warning underneath this hearing. Not simply sanctuary cities, not simply ethics questions, but the widening psychological gap between governing institutions and the people expected to keep believing in them. Drop your thoughts below. Like, comment, share and subscribe for deeper political and geopolitical breakdowns. No spin, no fluff, just the agenda.